What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. So at the end of the last episode, we had finished up this villager breeder here, as well as this keep kill system, and then we grabbed a couple villagers out of here. You know, we sent them back here, and then I also took one and sent them up here, and we're having an issue with these guys popping out of the minecarts here instead of falling down the chute. So I went back to Creative World, tried to sauce out the problem, thought maybe I wasn't using the hoppers, which I was, and the issue was in Creative, these guys were popping out and landing right here. Like so. And I know that they do need a full block to land on, and I built this thing the exact same way, and I could not recreate the problem in that world. So I had a suggestion on the last video to go ahead and put like a detector rail down with a repeater on full delay and just have some pistons push them. And we took our save file, we copied it, we put it on Creative. This way we could use this issue because I couldn't recreate it on my Creative testing world. So we copied the world, and I was trying to figure out a system that would be the easiest and quickest way that I could use here and on the keep system. And basically the suggestion I got for the piston was the easiest. So nothing else that I did worked. So this is real simple. You saw we put a detector rail, got a repeater set to full delay, and then a couple pieces of redstone like so. And that's it. That's the whole system. They'll come across, they'll get pushed off, and they'll fall down in the hole. It was that simple. So we were trying to put full blocks here instead of the minecart or the hopper. And crap, I forgot my tripwire hooks. Anyway, that didn't work. They were still popping off onto the rail. So when I was doing the testing in the Creative World, they will not spawn or they will not pop out of the minecart onto a transparent block such as glass. They will only pop out onto a full block. I tried the trapdoor trick, putting a trapdoor down and closing it. They won't pop out on that. So I tried to force them over. That didn't work. Like I said, this was the easiest solution. It's pretty quick. But as I'm walking around here, you guys will notice some changes to the base area, and we'll go over those in just a minute. But the title of the last video was finishing up the breeding system, and we ran into an unforeseen issue with this system. And basically because I want the minecart return every time so I don't have to come back here anymore. It's proven to have its issues, but I think we've got them all figured out. So there we go, that opens, so that should be complete. Let's go ahead and grab a villager and test it out real quick. So what are you? You're a toolsmith or a weaponsmith. I don't want you. See ya. Or an armor. And there you go. So that is this system complete. It was pretty easy. Now we've got to do this system up here. Oops. But the only issue I have with this system is due to my staircase being right here. Space limitations. I've actually got to take this whole bit and move it forward by block. So we got to move the cactus. We got to take the move this redstone here for the pressure plate and this piston. Move it all forward. So that shouldn't be too difficult to do. First thing we need to do is grab the water so it's not destroying all my rails. But I came up with this idea, this whole system here, and it's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple different systems I've seen. And then, come on. Trying to break blocks. Anyway, I just want to make it maintenance free to where I don't have to come back and ever put minecarts in the system. I don't want a ton of chests sitting around, even though I am going to need some chests placed for pumpkins and melons and carrots and such like that. Trading items with the villagers, I'll need that, but oh yeah, also due to the space limitations, we're going to use a normal piston here instead of a sticky piston, which is no big deal. So, but I had a plan in mind of what I wanted, and my specific requirements for this system were just that. They were very specific. So I think after we replace all this redstone and get this going, we should have a system that works 100%. But I could have kept them in their mine carts and let them falling down into their chambers with the mine carts and just reload this, or have a chest with a bunch of mine carts in it, but that's not what I wanted. Gotta be complicated like that sometimes. One of the funnest things about this game is coming up with systems like I'm doing right now to meet all the requirements that you want, and figuring out if it's possible or how to get it done. So let's see, we need to reroute the hopper chain as well for the second time, and then do some redstone, and that should be it. So when we actually took an AFK'd for a little bit in this world trying to get some more villagers to test this out. That's why I threw it into creative, is so I didn't have to wait for villagers to breed and grow up and stuff like that. I could just kind of get going, and then we deleted that file. But in doing so, I was able to use whatever's wrong with this world on there. So let's see. It's almost this whole thing done with just oh yeah, we still got to move the redstone for the pressure plate. Let's see, put the detector rail here. So you come back about 3 rails from the cactus, and that's where you place your detector. It seems to be working every time I've tried it. There we go. The redstone's going to be a little bit different on this one, but nothing too crazy. Oh, anyway, we were saying we had some pretty specific requirements for this world, and it's a it's been a pain to say the least trying to get all this figured out, but we've got it. And then you'll see I'm replacing all these blocks. I've made this mention in some of my redstone testing worlds and redstone videos. You want to replace blocks, or use blocks that you don't build with. Why is this redstone? I know why that redstone's on. Let's actually go move this redstone down here real quick. But you want to place your redstone on blocks you don't build with. This way when you are digging around in your base, or maybe you're expanding something out, or building a new farm, or whatever, it doesn't matter, you don't accidentally break your redstone. This was a trick or a tip from different redstoners I've seen when I first started playing the game. So yeah, this redstone's a lot easier than I remember. Yep, there it goes, it retracted. And I was using this polished diorite. It's not a block I'll ever build with, but I just think it's ugly. So, and we actually got a lot of sandstone for something that we were doing that I'll show you here in a minute. And so we just been using that. We just got to get a signal up to this piston here. And that should be as simple as doing this. A couple pieces of redstone. Bada bing. Replace our rails. Place down our pressure plate. Making sure this pressure plate is working, which it is. Perfect. Replace our water here. That's it. We should be done. We got to put our block back here. That's our whole system fixed. So, one thing I forgot to mention in the last video was make sure you light up those water canals. I did some AFKing trying to get these villagers to breed up, and ended up having a ton of mobs spawning up there. You can put down transparent blocks such as glass, or just light it up. I forgot about that and had a creeper explosion. It was kind of a pain, and it's a very funny moment, but we are going to cycle through the rest of our villagers here and see if we can find a couple that we might want to keep. I think we'll keep us one cleric. What we're really looking for is librarians, which I know I don't have in there, and then we are looking for brown coats. So we eventually will build a some automated farms, so we'll have to take some farming villagers out of here. And I did have a villager in here, a librarian, and you'll see the cleric will fall down in this space here, like so. And then this iron bar doesn't attach to these stairs here, so we can get in here and trade with this guy. But I don't know why this villager disappeared. I had that happen with one other villager as well, and I'm not sure why. My detector villager and my 2 breeders are fine, so we'll just have to keep an eye on the system. Oh, there's one brown coat. Keep. So we need 3, like I was saying. We're going to build some automated farms. I really need 2. I don't know if I'll do an auto potato farm, but I am going to probably do a carrot and a wheat. We'll see. So let's cycle through the last couple villagers. Another thing I noticed about this is these guys will sometimes try to push the minecart out of here and go back to the little holding chamber. And I've tried to put solid blocks. I've tried pistons retracting, keeping them in there. Nothing's really worked. I haven't had an issue in survival yet with it, but when I was playing around on creative I had that issue, so that's one other thing to keep in mind when building this system. I think that's our last guy. Yep, all cleaned out. So that's this system pretty well done. We got ourselves a couple of villagers, nothing we're going to trade with yet, but these guys are just for future farms. So we can pretty much knock this one on the head and call it done. We've got some aesthetics that we need to do. Let's see, what else? We can close this up now. We shouldn't have to get back in there with the minecart return system. We are planning to build a piston door right here and make some tunnels that go back here and here so we can get in there and reset the system as needed. Need to do the floor and the ceiling up in here. Got a few ideas. We need to finish up these hallways. And this is all done. Possibly putting in a detector when we have grown-up villagers. As you can see, all the minecarts return, so that's working. And that's this system done. Let's see, we talked about, or in the last video we said it was finished, but we found a minor issue. Pretty easy fix. This video is going to be a little bit shorter. We have been doing a ton of work off camera, which clean out my inventory, and then we'll head up top and I'll show you what we've been working on. You guys have already seen this and noticed that some things have changed. But I'll show you everything that we've done and talk about some future plans for the next few episodes. Let's see, it's getting to be dark. Crap. We shouldn't have a problem with mob spawning, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's try to sleep. I can only sleep at night. I could sleep when I want, man. It's called a nap. Come on. There we go. Alright, there we go. So we have been doing a lot of grindy work. Let's pop up here. We've done a little bit of work on the castle. This is a major project that I'm going to do here and there, and as I get inspiration to do it, I start working on it and I get tired to place some blocks, and you can see we filled all this in. We've done up some paths right here that you can kind of make out that lead into what will be the openings to these two rooms. We've kind of started our path to the main hall there. And then we've done some lighting. We filled all this in with dirt, every little space you see. And then right here, where I'm trying to draw a line, we've pretty much essentially done the castle back to the front here. Is done. I filled all that in with dirt because I don't like the passive mob spawning. I know I could just put torches in there and no mobs would spawn, but passive mobs will still spawn on grass, so I just filled it in. I have a ton of dirt. So let's pop up here and I'll show you the rest. We have, because of the mob spawning that we were having, I've gone around, and you'll see it in a second, I've placed torches down the entirety of this island in a nice little pattern too. So our villagers are tucked away here, and what we were having was zombies spawning. Our old breeder was over there. Anyway, we were having zombies spawn kind of in this little cove, or coming to this cove to try to get to the villagers, and they weren't getting killed by the sunlight. So we have done all the sand. We have knocked this mountain down, replaced the sand as well. You can kind of see the torches in the distance. I've lit up this whole freaking area, and I just slept. Let's see. Yeah, I won't be able to show you this. It's pretty cool at night. Then we were talking about building a charged creeper farm. And we had a location over here that we could have built it on. Or we could build it over here. It had to be in the biome where it rains. And placing it over here, there's going to be a bunch of holes in the ground, and I'm going to fence it in so I don't fall in with the creepers. I think that would take away from the whole facade of the castle. So we decided to put it over here, and I've got it marked out with the andesite pillars. But this mountain that used to be here was going to have to be knocked down and at least terraformed back quite a ways, so I decided just to knock down the whole mountain. That also gave me a lot of materials that I needed. I was actually out of cobblestone, of all things, and it gave me a bunch of sand as well. So that's just a, I don't know how soon, eventually, I'll build the charged creeper farm. It's one of my favorites and probably one of the funnest builds I've ever done, but we are going to be working on the rest of the castle between episodes, and this doesn't look like much now that I'm looking at it, but that was a lot of work there. It took me about 3 hours to do the lighting, and the sand was days. So we've also gone around the outside of the castle here, and we finished up, I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but we finished up the texturizing of all these walls. And we've done it around the corner here to the end of this wall, and the same spot on the other side over there. So we've got a little bit more to do as far as textures, and we need to build up this area here. Just checking out my villagers. Yeah, these guys don't despawn, so I don't know what's going on. Let's see. We still got some cobblestone to place and some paths to do. These chests I actually put in the wrong location, but that's alright. Oh, we moved the skeleton horses over there. And then we've been doing some prep work in between episodes as well for our next big projects. And I'm thinking what we're going to end up doing is building some kind of automated farms. I've talked about this a little bit. We got some carrots and potatoes done up. And then with changing all the dirt into sand, we got ourselves quite a bit of seeds. So I think that's going to be one of our next farms, is an automated wheat farm. And then, oh yeah, we're going to do a pumpkin and melon farm. I said I didn't want to use too many people's designs, but I am going to use Ilmango's design, so I might not build that thing on camera. Oh yeah, we need to finish texturizing these here as well. But Ilmango's design is one of the most efficient pumpkin and melon farms that you can build, so I'm probably just going to build his design. And then do an automated wheat farm, and then probably an automated carrot farm. I don't think I'll do an automated potato farm, just because I don't really use them. So, anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.